Zohar, the Parsha of Shmois, which is the Hebrew for Exodus. Continuing with Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon raised his hands in prayer to the Blessed Holy One and prayed, and afterward Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Abba came and sat before him. As they were sitting, they saw a ray of light darken. A jet of fiery flame plunged into the Sea of Tiberias, and that whole place trembled. Rabbi Shimon said, "Now is the time that the Blessed Holy One remembers his children and sheds the cures into the great sea. As they descend, they meet this jet of flame, sinking together into the sea." Rabbi Shimon and the companions wept. Rabbi Shimon said, "I have already aroused mysteries of the letters of the holy name, the secret of his arousal toward his children. Now, however, I must reveal something that no one else is permitted to reveal. Yet, the next generation will sustain the world until the King Messiah appears." Rabbi Shimon said to Rabbi Lazar and Rabbi Abba, "Stand in position." Rabbi Lazar and Rabbi Abba stood. Rabbi Shimon wept again and said, "Woe! Who can endure what I have seen? The exile says, bear it." He too rose and said, "O God, our God, lords, other than you possessed us, but only you your name." This verse has been established that this verse contains supernal mystery within faith. God Eloheinu, God our God, beginning of supernal mysteries, source of all radiance of lamps, all kindling, upon these depends the whole mystery of faith. The name reigns over all. The special power of the holy name is reiterated here. This divine name signifies Chachma Bina. Different names signify different powers. The source of all the lower spirits known as lamps. Lords other than you possessed us, for no one built but this supernal name rules over the people of Israel. And now in exile, another rules over them. The Bad Bacha, only by you, the mystery of the holy name, totality of 22 letters. The Assembly of Israel is blessed only by this name called Bacha, by you, as you said, to whom you swore, Bach by yourself, Bacha by you, will Israel bless. For Bacha by you I rush a barrier. When perfection prevails, one does not separate from the other, and it is forbidden to separate one from the other. From her husband, neither in thought nor utterance, not to manifest division. Now in exile, due to constant distress, we generate division. Uttering that name apart from her husband, for she lies in the dust. Thus, Bavad Bacha, apart from you, we utter your name, apart from her husband. We utter this name in separation, for we are far from you. Others dominate us. Your name is separated from the name called Bacha. This is a special name of Bacha. The divine couple Tiferes and Shekhinah would remain united ideally, and Shekhinah, known as your name, should never be invoked by herself, thereby separated from her husband. In times of exile, due to sin and suffering, the union is disrupted. Israel utters your name in separation, the separation of these two faculties. Splitting her off from Tiferes, Bavad Bacha understood now to mean apart from you, apart from Tiferes. This applies to the days of exile. For the first exile was from the first temple. The first temple is the mystery of the first day. Corresponding to her 70 years, the exile of the first temple lasted 70 years. For those 70 years, the mother was not found crouching over them. There was separate supernal name, the mystery of the supernal hay. Then Yod, supernal mystery, withdrew above. Of Ein Sof and the holy supernal first temple did not gush a flow of living water. For her spring had withdrawn. She is 70 years of exile because she is called 7 years. As he said, he built it 7 years. Now, if you say that the kingdom of Babylon ruled above, the mystery of 7 years perished the thought. The flowing light of supernal mother illuminate, cascaded below. When Israel Salem gained dominion, that radiance was covered and darkened. The holy lower ones did not shine. Since the lower ones did not shine, on account of the reign of the kingdom of Babylon, that light withdrew. That no bubbling, gushing spring, mystery of Yod, drew above to Ein Sof. Then those 70 years did not shine, and the withheld radiance surely constituted the exile of 70 years. When the dominion of Babylon was eliminated, all Israel did not return, purifying themselves, becoming a perfect treasure as before, rather little by little in disarray. So when perfection was lacking, as lower hay began to prevail, Yod, supernal bubbling flow, did not descend to illuminate as potently before, rather little by little erratically because they were not fittingly pure. Consequently, they did not gush or illumine, shining only little by little due to constriction of the left. Therefore many waters wars were declared against Israel until darkness covered the earth. Lower hay darkened, failing the earth. The upper flow withdrew as before, because the kingdom of Edom grew strong and decay. So Hay, the second temple, was destroyed, and all her 12 tribes, corresponding to the number of their camps, are in exile in the kingdom of Edom, that is the Roman kingdom. The supernal flow withdrew from from her, as is said, just as one loses that flow of the supernal being, spring gushing from above. Then Hay, second temple, suffered separation, going into all those 12 tribes and their camps. 12 tribes amount to a great number, and since the mystery of Hay is among them, I must prolong for that whole number. Mystery of mysteries, transmitted to the wise of heart. 10 tribes, 1,000 years, 2 tribes, 200 years. Tears began to fall, he opened, saying, She weeps bitterly in the night, tears upon her cheek. At the end of 12 tribes in exile, night darkens for Israel, until Vav arouses at the time of 66 years, after 12 tribes constituting 1,200 years of exile. And after 66 years of darkness of night, then I will remember covenant with Jacob, arousal of the letter Vav, the soul of the house of Jacob. This is the mystery of all the souls of the house of Jacob, 66, which are souls of the second temple. Mystery of Hay, this is Vav. Mystery of 66, 60 for arousal of Jacob, 6 for arousal of Joseph. Therefore it is Vav, two in a single mystery. Then on, the Blessed Holy One will arouse those signs we have mentioned, and those troubles we have mentioned will arouse upon Israel. This is the mystery of, and also my covenant with Isaac. Afterwards, when King Messiah waits throughout the world, with the right hand of the Blessed Holy One. As is said, your right hand, O God, glorious is your power. Then also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and afterwards I will remember. The final Hay of that time is written, but God will be king over all the earth. On that day God will be one, and his name will be one. At the end of 66 more years, constituting 132 years, the letters of the holy name will appear engraved above and below fittingly. This is the mystery of Hay, the upper and lower. And all those past 32 including the mystery of the letter Vav, Hay, Vav, mystery of consummation of 132. At the end of more years will be fulfilled to grasp the corners of the land, so the wicked will be shaken out of it, and the Holy Land will be purified. The Blessed Holy One will awaken the dead of the Holy Land, and will rise, host upon host, and blockages of the supernal bubbling flow will be aroused. The letter Yud and 32 paths will be done. Letters will be sustained and vitally, till now incomplete for the time that the supernal flow will stream in a union of letters into a fine Hay. This will be the completion of 144 more years, when the remaining dead of Israel and other lands will awaken. This will come to the count of 408, when the world will be settled, turning from firm and fragrant, and the other side will be eliminated from the world. Hay will be filled from the supernal flow, perfectly crowned and illumined. Of then is written, the light of the moon will be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun will be sevenfold. This is the Messianic era, until there will be a Sabbath of God, gathering souls of the light, final Hay throughout the entire 7 millennium. This arousal of the Holy Spirit of the people of Israel. Clothed after Sabbath in order, holy bodies to be called holy, as is written, whoever is left in Zion, who remains in Jerusalem, will be called holy. Until here words of sealed mysteries. They said, an Egyptian man rescued us, but he has said, the companions have already established that the Holy Spirit sparkle within them. This is alluding to Zipporah after Moses left Egypt, and Zipporah reported to his father that the Egyptian man, referring to Moses, rescued them. The companions have already established the Holy Spirit sparkle within them. They spoke and did not know what they were speaking, as compared to a man who was in the wilderness, who had not eaten meat for many days. One day a bear came to seize the lamb and fled, the bear pursuing till they reached the man in the wilderness. He saw the lamb and grabbed it and slaughtered it. The Egyptian man rescued us from the hands of the shepherds, and he even for us and watered the And Yusuf's daughter said, "An Egyptian man rescued us." They were inspired, though unaware of the deeper meaning of the words, just like the reason that a man stumbled upon unawares. Unwittingly, they were referring not to Moses, but to the Egyptian man who Moses has killed. Not to Moses, but to the Egyptian man. Because of that duty, Moses must make it where he saved Yisro's daughter. So in effect, it was the Egyptians who rescued them. This is speaking about people's perception or action of things that are not immediately justified, substantiated by sensory perception. Even though Moses fled because he killed an Egyptian, here the allusion for Yisro's daughter of an Egyptian man is not to Moses, but to the man that Moses killed, which they have no way of knowing otherwise, other than divine inspiration. The parable implies that just as the bear, in effect, fed the man by chasing the lamb in his direction, so the Egyptian man rescued Yisro's daughter by forcing Moses to flee the scene of the fight and head for Midian. So in this sense, the prosecutor, which is the Egyptians, who could not tolerate a Hebrew killing an Egyptian, was actually doing it for an ultimately good purpose, although albeit unbeknownst to them. Abihia attributes this interpretation of an Egyptian man rescued us to the companions, namely to the authors of the Midrash that appears in conveyed by a similar yet simple parable. This can be compared to one who was bitten by a lizard and ran to put his feet in water. He entered a river where he saw a child drowning, and stretched out his hand and brought him up. That child said to him, "If not for you, I'd be dead." He replied, "It's not me who saved you, but that lizard who bit me, from whom I fled, he saved you." Similarly, Yisro's daughter said to Moses, "May your sperm, for you saved us from the hands of the prophets." Moses replied, "That Egyptian whom I killed, he saved you." Therefore they said to their father, "An Egyptian man who caused this one to come upon us, an Egyptian man whom he killed." It's a very brilliant idea. The idea that oftentimes the prosecutor seemed to be inflicting an immediately negative result, but actually the ultimate intent is unbeknownst to the egoic people involved.